All right, so we have a 2018 Mazda CX-3. These are like the smaller of the SUVs. They're barely bigger than an actual Mazda 3. They're just sit taller and they're all-wheel drive. They're super sporty. I love driving these. They were just too small for my family when they came out. Doing a CX-5 yesterday, I honestly really like how this drives compared. It doesn't feel as like sloppy. This feels way more sporty, I would say. It's a really cool white, has almost like this pearl-esque to it. Really cool color. I like it a lot. As far as your exterior here, this car has new tires. They are gonna do brakes, rotors all the way around. I got it after it's been inspected, but hasn't fully been through shop. So I kind of took it from them. Does have passive entry, so you can use the button there without taking the key out of your pocket. Like I said, paint's in good shape. There isn't a whole lot going on here. I have some blemishes on this door here. It becomes a lot more apparent when you get close. My shadow might make it difficult, but you can see these little dimples here. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but you can tell the difference of the white here, and there's actually a textured feel. So it looks to me like it had someone do PDR on it. You can feel a little bit of the little dimples. You can kind of see, if you look at the gravel through the paint on the door, and as I move the camera, you can see there's a little bit of dimpling. It's very slight. It's almost like the guy wasn't perfect at PDR, because you can see like all the individual little hits. Like he didn't smooth it with the Mar mallet at the end. And then this here was just touched up. So it could be done better. It does catch your eye, but it's the only thing I really found. A little scuff on this front chin here, and then a couple little marks on the rear bumper from like loading and unloading. And you're missing a cap on this rear wiper here. I didn't get the washer fluid to work because it's empty, but I can hear the motors going. So hopefully those sprayers work and everything. Roof's pretty good. Everything checks out great on this. You do have some oxidation on the tops of these lights here, but all the lights work and function as intended. We're gonna stop here. Looks good. All right, before I do a startup, I always like to just kind of talk about a few things. Overall, engine bay is pretty clean. Really simple on this car, not like overdone with too much stuff. These are gonna be your wheel liners, so you're seeing all the way down to your wheels essentially. Frame and everything nice and straight. Crash bars are still there. Looks like all the paint is still on the nuts, so it hasn't been adjusted or played with. Same story through the apron and everything. Belts are really good. There is a separate stretch belt for the water pump, also good. This has an electric rack, so there will be a motor on the steering arm back here. Heat shields do a really good job of covering all of that, but it's right down here. Brake fluid's really good, nice gold color. They are going to service those brakes, so it's good to see that the fluid is in really good condition before the service. Air filter needs to be replaced. Like I said, it hasn't been through shop for everything they noted. It's only been through for the inspection. So when you have a dealership look at a car that's for used, they pull it in, they make a list, they pull it back out, wait for that list to get approved, and then they bring them back to the RO and say, do this, this, right? Crash support here, really good shape. Aprons, everything all in really good shape. You'll see some surface rust, like I said, on the steel components. Those are just all put on the car after the car's been treated for this stuff. So you got to keep that in mind when you look at stuff. Overall, I popped this cover off. There's a bit of like dust, road grime and stuff under there. Again, it's only been through the inspection phase. It hasn't been cleaned or detailed, but hopefully they take care of that and address it. For now, we're gonna set the camera here. And hopefully my tablet's a little big sometimes. All right, so just bear with the camera. I'm gonna do a quick startup. All right. So the persistent ticking noise on these modern engines is the direct injection. You're hearing the individual injector pulses, and it should be loud and crisp. You want to hear good pulses. It's a normal thing. All engines now do it. When this starts up, you can't even feel it in the whole car. It's almost like it didn't start, but then it's running. It's very soft, very smooth. On these cars, this is gonna be your high pressure fuel system over here. That's why I set the camera there for startup. Makes it a little loud, but it just makes you aware that that system is working and healthy. AC and everything works good. The compressor does kick on quite a bit. Initially, before the drive, it took a little bit for it to get cold. Now it's ice cold. It could just be signs of like a lower charge over time, but still fully functional. Engine bay is actually pretty nice. Nothing here to concern me. We're gonna keep going forward here. Okay, so the undercarriage, I use this little mirror to just help me kind of get good angles underneath. I just start from front to back. It just lets me see if anything's been hanging down, been dragging, any kind of damage, any wet areas or anything. Not seeing any of that, so it's always a good start. As far as starting up here in the front, on this little chin here, you can see some scrapes at the very bottom here, but that's the only really spot. The other parts of the chin are really good. We're gonna go off to each corner of the vehicle and just touch base. So this here is the driver front corner where your lift point is. I always check here first because the pinch welds, they'll sometimes get folded over and damaged being lifted incorrectly. This one looks really good. Floor also looks really good. Heat shields are all still here. You can see your cat in there. I don't see any like chipping or flaking or any kind of gouging in the coating here. And that pretty much goes down the whole side here. Plastics are still attached. Has a little resonator in there still. We're gonna go to the rear here. So more of the body, pinch weld and everything still in really good shape here. Going further in, you'll see up in here where like the suspension and like the mild steel and arms and everything are all bolted in. You're gonna see some surface rust here from like rock and road debris chipping. This is a bar that protects your fuel tank, so it's really common to see that. I usually recommend just getting these treated. They do like steam clean or like a pressure clean to chip all that off. There's nothing like flaking or soft, but it just gets that surface off, and then they treat it. I always say don't do a rubber base because that traps moisture. Try to get like an oil based kind of coating. We're gonna go straight to the back. All right, so here's gonna be your rear. So that's your muffler here. Rear diff, axles and everything look really good. Now, bear with the mirror, we're looking up here, okay? So this is gonna be your crash support bar. That's where it gets mounted. And then that's technically like frame or body. Looks really good there. Sun's coming out bright all of a sudden, so it's messing with my focus. We'll go to the other side here. A little more of that surface rust, but all looks really good. And then right here, is your other side of the suspension, and your axle and everything looks really good. And then you can see here that under above the muffler, that's the floor where the spare was sitting. All looks really good there. Okay, we're on the passenger rear corner, so more of that chipping from road debris and everything. But the pinch weld where the body seam is really good still. This is just like I was saying, undercoat this area, get it treated before it gets a problem. It's mainly just the steel components that they bolt to the body after it's been painted and treated, right? Pinch weld here, really good shape. Body, same story. See your subframe and everything, the steering. All looks really good. That surface rust is really normal on the steel components. When I see this kind of stuff rusting, which we don't, but when this stuff's rusting, that's when it's concerned. When the coating's all gone, the paint, the dipped enamel, all that stuff is gone, and it's rusting here, that's a concern. Nothing here concerns me. We're gonna do a quick interior portion. So starting with the steering wheel, they're pretty busy these days. You got your cruise control settings here, your voice command settings and volume information and seek. The steering wheel has a little bit of peeling on the leather, some peeling on the chrome here, so it's just kind of like the white plastic left. You can see kind of some of that peeling there. Put a cover on it, just like a really nice one. Should take care of that. A little rough. When I first got into the car, there was a I used to smoke in this kind of smell, Current mileage at the end of my drive, 77770. I was tempted to drive another 7 miles for this video just to be like, hey, this is the lucky car. You know? I thought it was funny. Drove good, plenty of get up. So like the CX-3 is like the really small. I would basically say this is a hatchback that they made into a crossover for the all-wheel drive, right? It's similar size. I used to have a Mazda 3, Mazda Speed 3. It's similar sizing to that. It's really, I did a CX-5 yesterday, and it's smaller. Like, it's a bit smaller, but it's sporty, man. It turns and drives good. So just that being said, it does have backup camera. It's going to be looking at the sky because the rear liftgate is open. It doesn't have radar, but this red line is basically where you should stop if you want to be able to open your liftgate. Climate controls, they are auto, or you can just full blast them. Heated seats are incredible. Those were warm before you even got out of the parking lot. As far as your information controls here, this car doesn't actually have nav hooked up to it. Some of these you can use, it'll have like Android Auto and stuff that can take over these screens, and so you won't really actually need it if that's possible. I love this little knob that holds your hand from hitting this knob while you're using this knob. I thought that was really cool. Sport mode makes a difference. Does have the sport shift as well. USB CD, and then this is where you put your SD card stuff in. 12 volts here, and then we're gonna pause here and look from the outside in. All right, we're just standing from the outside looking in now. So both seats are manual in the front, pretty good condition. They do have these little burn marks here on this side, a little scuff here. Pedals and carpets are really good. They still have the factory floor mats. A little bit of staining here, but it hasn't been cleaned yet either. So it went through shop, but they didn't have time to like get it done before parts arrived and I arrived, right? Some light scuffs on this door, and a little mark on the red here. But beyond that, door cards are in pretty good shape all the way around. Back seat's really good. I didn't see anything that bothered me. Seatbelts all do what they're supposed to. Floor mats in the back. And seat back pocket not on this side, which I love because I hate when people are messing with stuff when I'm driving. Hop inside. Passenger rear door card. So really good shape. Again, seat is in good shape. Seat back still tight. More floor mats. Carpet underneath looks great. It's good when you have floor mats. Door card here in really good shape. And then your seat on this side, got a little burn mark there, but it's really good shape. Bolsters are nice and firm, no wrinkles in the leather or anything like that, but it does have a burn mark. Carpet again, really good shape. Glove box does have the wheel lock. Overall, really good interior. I thought this vent was goofy, you guys. Like, all the other ones are circles, but this one's just flat. It's kind of goofy, in my opinion. It just doesn't... I know they did it for like design purposes, but it's silly to me. We're gonna stop here and keep moving through the inspection. Rear hatch, cargo, trunk, lift gate, however you like to call it, that's what this is, the rear hatch. Okay, so overall seals, everything are in really good shape. The only thing I noticed is like these little chips here, probably from loading and unloading stuff, and some scuffs in the plastic, but not too bad. This does have, so this little door, right? So you lift and then it'll fall here and then you shove and it stays up. And then you go down here, another floor. That's your spare. Has the insulation for sound and everything still in it. That's awesome. And then the seals, like the seam sealer and everything still looks really good. Tools, strap, everything you're gonna need. All still there. Now, this just sets back in like that. And then your jack is in here. Not power lift gate. It does have an electric switch here, but super light. It weighs like nothing, so it's really easy to open and close. We'll stop there. All right, we go through your computer at this portion. Basically, we plug into the car, scan all the monitors, and just make sure there's nothing goofy going on. So we did have a couple faults come on. They are both stored. Essentially, the PCM has stored for brake pedal, accelerator pedal position, incompatible. So at some point it lost communication. Most likely they tried to start it and it was dead, and the brake or gas was pushed or something along those lines. I didn't have any issues with the brakes coming on. The brake lights come on and everything, so I know the switch is doing what it's supposed to. And then throttle, obviously, I mean, I got going, so responds well. And then I'll show you in your live test all that kind of stuff as well as for throttle. And then your CMU, so connectivity master unit, right? This kind of stuff. It has a stored code for speaker amplifier. Now, currently, if you look here, it's 10:16 on my phone, and this says 11:13. So this car has been jump started or power has been disconnected at some point. So it makes sense to have some stored codes for communication here. Really nothing here that concerns me. I'm going to keep moving on to your monitors and some live data. Alright, we are back into your monitors. So these are all system checks that the vehicle does while you're driving. All green checks is good. Gray circles just means they're either monitors not supported, or typically on newer cars it's redundancies. So like some of these will be supported by another monitor. Nothing here that really concerns me. Down here we always like to make sure the VIN on your computer is the same as the vehicle. It does match up, that's good. And then I'm going to switch over for the live data real fast. Alright, so this is going to be live data. Essentially it's just recording things as you see them. So at idle you can see here engine RPM. Sun's coming out, so just bear with my glare on my hand here. Let me move it. Here's your idle RPM. I'm going to blip throttle. See, it goes up, and then we can go down to throttle position. This is idle. See how it goes up. You can see at the bottom value is what I'm asking for. At the top value is where it gets to, right? Oh, my thumb. It's drying. There we go. So, throttle is doing good. I know we had a code for positioning on that, so I just wanted to make sure. You can see distance traveled since check engine light's been activated. There's been no check engine light activations, and it's had a significant number of warm-ups, and since it's been cleared, it's been about, I don't know, 5,000 kilometers or 52, almost 5,300 kilometers, so that's about 5,000 miles. So it has been cleared at some point. Now, that being said, if it was cleared before I got there, your monitors would all say red X's and inop or incomplete, something along those lines. Everything else checks out really good. I always like to come down. So accelerator position again. Yeah, you can see it go up. Really, really good. Pressures are all good. Checks out really good. All right, we're gonna run through our conclusions. I always try to like stage these up, make them look alive at the end here. Truly a fun little car to drive. I like how sporty these are. Plenty of get up and go. I mean, it's not a race car, but they're quick, they're zippy. Drives good. They're gonna be doing the brakes. There is a little bit of pulse for me, but drives straight. It has pretty much a really nice interior with the black on red. I love this white with like this pearl to it. As far as your concerns, rust is very minimal underneath. There is some surface rust towards the rear where all the road debris chips. It's mostly on the steel components, not really the body components. So you can get that like treated and do it like not a rubber based undercoat. Please don't. Some kind of oil based or anything like that. Rubbers just trap moisture. There's a little bit of blemishes on this door here that catch your eye, and this car was a previous smoker car, so you kind of smell it at first. Again, this has not been through shop fully, so they usually do an ozone to treat that. There is a couple little burns in the front seats, very small, one on each seat. Steering wheel is a little peely. The headliner could use like a good steam, but beyond that, this is a cool little car. I really like these. One of my in-laws has a CX-5, and I enjoy driving this way more. As far as mileage, you're at 77,000 on 2018. Yesterday I did a 2025 CX-5 at 44,000. So mileage is really good for almost a 10-year-old car, in my opinion. Yeah, really, I don't have a whole lot to gripe about. Like I said, it hasn't been finished in shop. It's just been inspected in shop. They're doing brakes all the way around, pads, rotors. They're going to do the oil change, filters and everything, and just make sure she's tip top. As far as Mazda maintenance, at 77,000, I would just check for records, make sure the transmission fluid has been serviced. I believe they're about every 60,000 on these cars. And then I would also have them just inspect diffs while they're in there. These are PTUs, so it's kind of a shared unit up in the front, and then you have a rear diff in the back, obviously, with gear oil and all that. So pretty straightforward, but just something you want to make sure has been done before you just get back to life. We're going to stop here. This inspection was pretty good.